Let's go Broncos! What if I told you that the most dominant victory of the Sean Payton era didn't even come close to representing the team's full potential? That behind the scenes, key stars are returning, secret plans are being kept in plain sight, and the Broncos may have just discovered the secret to a Super Bowl run? Yes, this is serious, and you're about to hear it all. But before we dive into what could be the biggest story of the season for the Broncos, like this post if you're a die-hard fan. And if you've been a Broncos fan for over 20 years, leave a comment below saying, "Go Broncos! My heart bleeds orange and blue." Now, get ready, because what I'm about to reveal could completely change your perspective on the playoffs. The temperature is rising in the Mile High City, and we've got major updates across the board. Let's start with a moment that had every Broncos fan holding their breath, Garrett Bowles going down holding his ankle. The collective gasp from Broncos country was deafening, and when he didn't come out of that medical tent before halftime, panic set in. But Bowles, that man is a straight-up warrior. Not only did he finish the game, but he did it with a massive ankle sprain. After the final whistle, reporters saw his ankle ballooned up, and when asked if he might miss time, his response was pure grit. "I already have guys waiting for me at my house to start working on this. There's no way I'm not playing." That's the dog mentality this team needs for a playoff run. And speaking of reinforcement, the real headline here is the potential return of J.K. Dobbins. If you've been dreaming of a Broncos backfield that can dominate every down, you're about to get your wish. CBS's Jim Nantz reported live that Denver is expecting J.K. Dobbins to return for the AFC Championship game. But wait, Dobbins himself might have let the cat out of the bag early. He was on the field during the Chargers game, signing autographs and talking to fans. When one asked if he'd be back for the Super Bowl, Dobbins replied with a smirk, "Sooner than that." And here's the kicker, he's not even wearing a boot anymore. Those initial rumors about him needing 6 months post-surgery? Total bunk. This is the same J.K. Dobbins who was on pace to become Denver's first 1,000-yard rusher since Philip Lindsay. R.J. Harvey's been doing an admirable job, but let's be honest, he doesn't offer the consistent 6 or 7 yards per carry like Dobbins can. His return could absolutely redefine Denver's offensive identity heading into the postseason. And the good news doesn't stop there. Another massive boost is Brandon Jones, Denver's Pro Bowl caliber safety. P.J. Locke has been holding it down, and shout out to him. Remember when he drove to Detroit in an RV just to suit up because he wasn't medically cleared to fly? That's hard, but Brandon Jones brings veteran presence and elite playmaking. The fact that he's back on the sideline, warming up and hyping up his teammates? That's no accident. Players in the NFL don't do that unless they're close to returning. It's clear Jones is itching to get back on the field. Dre Greenlaw is another name Broncos country should be excited about. Sean Payton's decision to avoid putting him on IR was no coincidence. It means they expect him back within 4 games. He could return as early as Denver's first playoff game. But even if he's not ready, Justin Strnad stepped up big time last week. That linebacker core is stacked. Now the only lingering concern is P.J. Locke's injury. He exited early against the Chargers, and while it didn't cost the team, let's face it, Trey Lance isn't exactly a quarterback threat. It could become an issue if neither Locke nor Jones is healthy for the next playoff matchup. That would leave Devin Key as the last line of defense, which could create some uneasiness in critical moments. But here's where it gets even better. The Broncos now have 13 days off before their next game. That's practically unheard of. While other teams are grinding through the gauntlet, Denver gets to rest, recover, and strategize. Sean Payton is giving the players the full week off before bringing them back for a couple of practices, and then it's straight into game prep. Players like Patrick Surtain and Nick Bonitto have already said they'll be splitting time between the training room and resting at home. No Vegas trips, no distractions, just focus. And when you look at the playoff field, the Broncos' path to the Super Bowl looks wide open. Aaron Rodgers is the only quarterback in the AFC with a ring, and he's 42. After that, the most experienced playoff QB is Josh Allen with 7 wins. No one else in this field has the battle scars Denver's veterans do, and they're going to use every ounce of that experience to their advantage. Sean Payton isn't tipping his hand, but if you watch the Chargers game closely, you know that wasn't his A game. Bo Nix attempted only 2 passes over 10 yards. The offense was a vanilla version, the kind of play calling you'd expect in preseason. Courtland Sutton barely saw action. That was by design. The Broncos didn't want to give the Chargers anything they could use in a potential playoff rematch. This is classic gamesmanship. Even analysts like Tim Jenkins called it the most basic offensive game plan he's seen all year. Sean Payton even dropped subtle hints in his post-game presser, saying, "You play a game a certain way." Translation? We held back. We didn't need to empty the playbook to get the W. And they still beat the Chargers by more than 13 points. Finally, we've got coaching news. Vance Joseph is getting interest for head coaching gigs, and the Titans are interviewing him via Zoom. If he gets the job, Denver gets 2 third-round compensatory picks. That's huge. Plus, the Broncos already have a strong plan B in Jim Leonard, who many believe is ready to take the reins if needed. Broncos country, this is the calm before the storm. The bye week is a massive advantage. Key players are coming back. The team just put together their most dominant win of the season without even breaking a sweat. And now they're going to be healthier, more rested, and fully locked in. Because here's where things really start to get interesting. When we talk about a Super Bowl window being open, that's one thing. But when you look at the actual road ahead, the matchups, the rest advantages, the altitude, the emerging stars, this isn't just a window. This is a runway. And the Denver Broncos are cleared for takeoff. Let's start with the mental edge. This team just played the Chargers and beat them handily while keeping half the playbook tucked away. Think about the psychological warfare of that. You face a division rival, you dial everything back to vanilla, and you still win convincingly. Sean Payton knows exactly what he's doing. This is a coach who's been to the mountaintop before. He knows how to build a postseason blueprint. And if we end up seeing the Chargers again in the playoffs, they'll be preparing for a Broncos team that doesn't even exist. The version they saw was a mirage. And this isn't just coaching smarts. This is calculated, next-level playoff chess. Sean Payton is banking on the element of surprise. While fans were worried about red zone efficiency or lack of touchdowns, he was focused on keeping bullets in the chamber. Just imagine arrested Bo Nix with the full playbook unleashed, deep shots to Cortland Sutton, designed misdirections with J.K. Dobbins, creative pressure schemes from Vance Joseph if he's still around. That's not a team the AFC wants to deal with. Now let's talk altitude. It's not just a fun fact for announcers to mention during broadcasts. It's real. It affects recovery, stamina, and focus. And Denver will play its next 2 games at home. Think about that. While other teams are battling through travel fatigue, weather conditions, and media noise, the Broncos are prepping at home, sleeping in their own beds, rehabbing with their own staff, and playing in a stadium where the air literally works against the visiting team. It's not just a home field advantage, it's a biological one. The altitude edge combined with a full 13 days of rest is a rare combo in the NFL. Players aren't just healing, they're getting stronger. Guys like Patrick Surtain and Justin Stranad, who've been battling through minor dings all season, are now going to hit the field with fresh legs and clear minds. That matters, especially when margins get razor thin in January football. Let's not ignore the locker room culture either. This team isn't just physically tough, they're emotionally and mentally locked in. No drama, no distractions. While other franchises are dealing with off-field noise, Denver's players are choosing to show up to the facility during their time off. Nobody's pulling a Patriots-style boat trip with pink powder situation. Instead, it's recovery, film, and chemistry. That kind of self-discipline is contagious. It speaks to leadership from guys like Bowles, Simmons, and Sutton. When you've got Pro Bowl caliber veterans setting that tone, young guys like Bo Nix, R.J. Harvey, and Devin Key fall right in line. The locker room is unified, and in the playoffs, unity is everything. And how about Vance Joseph? Even with a job interview lined up, he's not letting up. He's using Zoom to take the meeting, not even leaving the building. That tells you everything about this staff's commitment. Plus, if he does leave, not only do you have a premium defensive mind in Jim Leonard ready to step in, but you also gain 2 extra third-round picks. This is the type of organizational depth and planning that separates real contenders from flukes. Let's zoom out and look at the AFC as a whole. Like we said earlier, Aaron Rodgers is the only QB with a ring. Josh Allen has had his moments, but he's been shaky under pressure. And then what? You're looking at young, unproven playoff QBs with no scars.